And welcome back to coverage of the 2013 USCAA Volleyball National Championships here on the campus of the State University of New York in Canton, New York, on the Tourbeau Sports Group Network. I am Sean Tehan, set to call the final game today here at the CARC between the SUNY Canton Kangaroos and the Daemen College Wildcats. SUNY Canton Kangaroos, the number 4 seed out of the Pool B region. The Daemen College Wildcats, the top seed out of the Pool A region. And also the defending USCAA national champions. Let's get to the starting lineups real quick right before we start this best of 5 match between the Kangaroos and the Wildcats. First in the dark blue and Vegas gold, the SUNY Canton Kangaroos, the libero is number 4, sophomore Robin Carroll. The setter, number 17, freshman Lindsay Breyer. The right side hitter, number 8, junior Caitlin Grimshaw. The outside hitter, number 2, freshman Kelsey Cornish. The outside hitter, number 6, junior Jessica Reynolds. The middle hitter and middle blocker, number 11, sophomore Morgan Bills. And the setter, number 1, junior Mackenzie Minter. Once again, that's Carroll, Breyer, Grimshaw, Cornish, Reynolds, Bills, and Minter. And the Kangaroos are coached by Carol LaMarche. LaMarche is in her 3rd season in Canton, New York, and she is assisted by Danielle Swanston, and Tom Hamlin. And in the royal blue and white, the defending champion Wildcats. Starting for the Wildcats in this game, the middle blocker, number 7, junior Yi Wang. The setter, number 1, senior Kaylee Vasquez. The defensive specialist, number 3, senior Paige Tillert. The middle blocker, number 5, senior Caitlin Wachi. The outside hitter and defensive specialist, number 8, senior Brittany Anthon. The setter, number 4, junior Chelsea Tercer. And the outside hitter and right side hitter, number 6, junior Lindsay Nowak. Once again, that's Wang, Vasquez, Tillert, Wachi, Anthon, Tercer, and Nowak. And the Wildcats are coached by Mark Parisi in his 9th season at Daemen College. And he is assisted by his daughter and former Wildcat volleyball player, Lauren Cooper. The Wildcats are from Amherst, New York. One of the only in-state teams in this tournament. Them and SUNY Canton are the only 2 teams in the USCAA national tournament who are from the state of New York. And Daemen College, once again, in the Pool A region. They defeated Marygrove, Carlow University, UC Claremont, and Penn State Fayette, finishing 4-0. And SUNY Canton only finished 1-3 in the Pool B region as they lost to Florida Rochester and Lindenwood Belleville. But they did defeat Johnson and Wales University. The winner of this game here at the CARC to wrap up Friday's action will play the winner of Rochester and Carlow. That game going on across campus here at SUNY Canton at Dana Hall. And the winner of this game will advance to the semifinals on Saturday. And don't forget, fans, you can capture all the memories and highlights from this national tournament on high-quality video and audio commentary. All matches are available for purchase from Tourbeau Sports. Head over to our website at www.tourbeausportsgroup to learn more. And the Kangaroos and Wildcats look to be about ready to go. Earlier at the CARC, prior to this game, Florida College defeated the University of Cincinnati Claremont Cougars in 3 games, won by scores of 25-11, 25-13, and 25-21 to sweep the Cougars out of the USCAA national tournament. And Daemen College, they are one of the favorites to win this tournament again this year, a year after winning the tournament in 2012, and they defeated the Florida College Falcons in 2012. Florida College looks awfully good. They as well have not lost a match yet in USCAA tournament play. And we look to be about ready to go here inside the CARC on the campus of SUNY Canton. It's very windy. It's cold. We've had some drizzles throughout the day outside, but no inclement weather indoors for this quarterfinals matchup of the USCAA Women's Volleyball National Championship. And the Daemen College Wildcats will start by serving to the Kangaroos. That's Mackenzie Minter trying to set up Kelsey Cornish. The excellent block, though, on the front line. That was number 14, Mackenzie Kanicki. The sophomore middle blocker puts the Wildcats up 1-0. And serving for the Wildcats is Kaylee Vasquez. Minter setting up Kelsey Cornish, blocked away again by Kanicki. Vasquez sets up Yi Wang. The dig right there by Robin Carroll nearly hits the ceiling here at the CARC. Cornish tips it over the net. Now the setup for Amber Drizmala, and that attack is good. Daemen goes up 2-0 early in this first game. Vasquez serving again. Carroll with the dig. Minter sets up Breyer. But the dig attempt by Amber Drizmala goes out of bounds, and the Kangaroos get on the board for the first time this evening. Substitution being made by Carol LaMarche. Jessica Reynolds checks in for Emily Thomas. Kelsey Cornish with the serve now. Another kill right there by Amber Drizmala, the freshman outside hitter and right side hitter for the Wildcats. Drizmala this year averaging 1.3 kills per set, fifth best on the team. And also has 175 digs to complement the kills. Jessica Reynolds on the attack, blocked away by Mackenzie Kanicki and Yi Wang. And another point for Daemen College. Yi Wang is the one worth keeping an eye on for the Wildcats. 2012, she was a second-team All-American in the USCAA and an academic All-American. Also was named to the All-Tournament team a year ago. As a freshman also, she was Conference Freshman of the Year. And she's recorded at least 10 kills in all but 3 regular season matches this year. Wildcats up 4-1 early. Jessica Reynolds on the attack. Dug up nicely by Drizmala. And set up the attack for Brittany Anthon. Kelsey Cornish unable to get that on the ground. Cornish with a nice dig, though. Minter setting up Breyer. Goes cross court, but Kaylee Vasquez wisely watches that go out of bounds beyond the baseline. Point to Daemen College.
Somebody pay attention up there. Wake up. 4 hits.
5-1 Wildcats lead over the Kangaroos, and that dig attempt by Kelsey Cornish goes off her right arm, and another point to the Wildcats, and a fast start for Daemen College. And we saw this previously here at the CARC just before this game, where Florida College raced out to early and impressive leads over Cincinnati Claremont. Drizmala with the serve. Cornish to Minter, setting up Reynolds. Blocked away, though, by the combination of Mackenzie Kanicki and Yi Wang. Mackenzie Kanicki only had 19 total digs on the season, the sophomore middle blocker, and quite the story with her. She was actually diagnosed with cancer near the end of high school, and she went through 4 cycles of chemotherapy and 14 days of radiation treatment after noticing a large lump above her collarbone, and she still showed up in time for fall practice at Daemen College before the 2012 season. For fall practice, I mean, talk about an inspiration for the Wildcats. Timeout called on the Kangaroo sideline by Coach LaMarche as she sees that her team quickly down 8-1 to the Daemen Wildcats. But Mackenzie Knicki, let's talk about her a little more. Averaging .39 blocks per set, 4th best on the team. The sophomore middle blocker, 19 kills and 10 digs this season. But just that unbelievable story, just that she's overcome cancer. She's a cancer survivor, and just kudos to her. Obviously, she has incredible strength, and that's an incredible motivation tool for Coach Mark Parisi and his Wildcats team. So Wildcats up 8-1 early over the Kangaroos. Best of 5 series. The winner of this game will advance to the national semifinals. The loser, well, their trip will end early as Lindsey Breyer will get credit for the kill. Substitution being made. Morgan Bills checks in for Robin Carroll for the Kangaroos. Now Knicki with the attack, blocked away by Morgan Bills. An excellent job by Morgan Bills, the other sophomore middle blocker in this game. 8-3, Daemen leads. Vasquez sets up Brittany Anthon, and she's going to get credit for the kill as well. Substitution being made on both sides. Robin Carroll checks in for the Kangaroos, and Chelsea Caitlin Wachi checks in to the game for the Wildcats. Jessica Reynolds gets it over the dig by Brittany Anthon. And the tip by Caitlin Wachi is kept alive by Robin Carroll. An excellent dig. And now to Anthon, and an excellent block on the other end by Morgan Bills. Averaging .68 blocks per set this year, that leads this Kangaroos team. She was named to the all-tournament team a year ago for the USCAA. Lindsey Breyer now will serve. Daemen leads 9-4 over the Kangaroos. Yi Wang with a little tip. Dug up nicely by Robin Carroll. Jessica Reynolds with the attack, blocked away. Combination of Caitlin Wachi and Yi Wang. Substitutions being made as Chelsea Tercer and Lindsay Nowak check in for Yi Wang and Kaylee Vasquez. 10-4, Daemen with an early lead. Daemen College and SUNY Canton, both from the state of New York. SUNY Canton obviously playing right here at home in Canton, New York. Daemen College making the trip from Amherst. Minter sets up Bills. Tercer tries to set up Nowak. Returned nicely, though, by the Kangaroos. Excellent dig by Paige Tillert. Now Reynolds on the attack. Tercer to Anthon. And Anthon with the easy tip. And it hits the floor before a diving Jessica Reynolds could get there for the Kangaroos. Chelsea Tercer, the junior setter, will serve. Had 31 assists versus Embry-Riddle College back on October 20th in 2012 as that hit by Minter stays inbounds. Point goes to the Kangaroos. And Emily Thomas checks back in for Jessica Reynolds for SUNY Canton. SUNY Canton this year 27-5 coming into USCAA play. 844 win percentage, the best win percentage among all USCAA teams. But down early to the Wildcats. Breyer's got to get this over, and she does. And now Cornish on the attack. Tercer sets up her teammate Wachi, and Caitlin Wachi's going to get credit for another kill for the Wildcats. 12-5, Daemen leads. And back to serve is Brittany Anthon, the senior outside hitter and defensive specialist. Recorded 22 digs against Sioux Falls back during her freshman year, August of her freshman year. A great way to start a pretty memorable career for Brittany Anthon, which resulted in a national championship along the way last season. Morgan Bills checks back out for the Kangaroos. Brianna Ng checks in for SUNY Canton. Ng to serve. Tillert to Tercer. And sets up the attack by Anthon once again. Brittany Anthon averaging 2 kills per set this year. That's third best on the team to Lindsay Nowak and Yi Wang. And also has 228 digs, which is second to Paige Tillert, the senior libero. Minter to Cornish. Put in an awkward position right there. Daemen now up 14-6. Their largest lead of this first game. Best of 5 series. Pool play was best of 3. Now, though, that we've moved on to the elimination rounds of the tournament, it's best of 5 for the remainder of this USCAA National Championship. Tercer trying to save it for Daemen, but it's going to hit the ground, and point goes to the Kangaroos. Substitution being made for the Wildcats. Paige Tillert checks back in for Caitlin Wachi. And serving for the Kangaroos is Mackenzie Minter. Now Tercer trying to set up Kanicki. Dug up by Carroll. And now Jasmala gets it over the arms of Lindsey Breyer and Caitlin Grimshaw. Yi Wang checking back in for Lindsay Nowak, as well as number 1 Kaylee Vasquez checks in for Chelsea Tercer. Minter sets up Grimshaw. Dug up by the Wildcats, and Yi Wang. Yi Wang has been so good at her situational awareness is very fantastic. One of many reasons she was probably an All-American last year, a second-team All-American only as a sophomore in the USCAA. She looks like she's about to spike it, but then she changes it right at the point of attack and just tips it over the outstretched arms of the opposing front line. And Yi Wang, an outstanding player, averaging 3.5 kills per set this year. That's best on the Wildcats and 5th best among all of the USCAA, and also averaging nearly 1 block per set. That's best on the team as well. 2011, she was named the American Mideast Conference Freshman of the Year. 2012, she was a national champion. In that national title match against Florida College, Wang had 12 kills, 5 solo blocks, en route to being named to the USCAA All-Tournament team. Daemen up 16-7. Another point for the Wildcats. Now up by 10 over the Kangaroos. On the campus of SUNY Canton, inside the CARC building, a beautiful facility, only 2 years old. This is the second straight year SUNY Canton has hosted the USCAA championships. Tillert with a nice dig. And the excellent block right there by Lindsey Breyer and Caitlin Grimshaw, but it doesn't stay in bounds. Point goes to the Wildcats. Kaylee Vasquez to serve again, averaging just under 5.5 assists per set. That's best on the team. And Kelsey Cornish's attack goes way beyond the end line. Point to the Wildcats. Vasquez, back in 2012, had 37 assists in a match against Mercyhurst College. Career best for her. Kelsey Cornish will get credit for the kill. Daemen now leads 19-8. Substitution being made for the Kangaroos. Jessica Reynolds checks back in for Emily Thomas. And serving for the Kangaroos is Kelsey Cornish, the freshman outside hitter, and her serve hits the middle of the net. And set to serve for the Wildcats will be freshman outside hitter and right side hitter Amber Drzmala. Minter sets up Grimshaw, dug out though, once again by Vasquez. Minter sets up Breyer, and the block attempt by Anthon and Kinnicky is no good as that ball hits the ground on the Wildcats side. Point goes to the Kangaroos. Jessica Reynolds checks back in for Emily Thomas. Daemen College just able to get that over. Tiller digs it out. Vasquez sets up Kinnicky. An excellent job by Mackenzie Kinnicky, helping the Wildcats earn that point. She will check out of the game. 21-9. Coach Mark Parisi in his 9th year for the Wildcats. His team in very good shape in the first game of this best-of-5 series. Point goes to the Kangaroos after the kill by Morgan Bills. And here's the serve for Lindsey Breyer. Vasquez sets up Caitlin Wachi. Dug out by Cornish. Minter setting up Jessica Reynolds on the attack. Dug out by the Wildcats. Minter to Reynolds. Vasquez keeps it alive. Tillard sets up Wang. The easy tip right to the Kangaroos. Vasquez trying to get past Bills. Now Yi Wang with the attack, and too much to handle for Morgan Bills and company. And Daemen College goes back up by 12. Substitutions being made by Coach Parisi again as Chelsea Tercer and Lindsay Nowak check back in for Yi Wang and Kaylee Vasquez. And for the Kangaroos, Rachel Lowther checks in for Jessica Reynolds. Lowther, the sophomore middle hitter, averaging about 1.37 kills per set this year. Good for 5th best average on the Kangaroos team. Minter now sets up Morgan Bills. An excellent job on the attack as it was tipped on the front line of defense by the Wildcats, cutting this Daemen lead in half. And Emily Thomas checks in for Lowther. And Thomas, the junior libero and defensive specialist, will serve. Tercer trying to set up her teammate Caitlin Wachi. Well defended though by the Kangaroos. Minter sets up Bills, blocked. Tercer to Anthon. And the attack stays in bounds. Great execution right there by the Wildcats. Kaylee Vasquez will get credit for the assist to Brittany Anthon, the senior outside defensive specialist. Outside hitter and defensive specialist. 23-11, Wildcats on the verge of taking game 1. Cornish on the attack. And it's ruled out of bounds right in front of the side judge. Game point now for the Wildcats. Brittany Anthon will serve once again. She's had 13 kills twice in a single match in her career. Most recently, she did that, though, against Bridgeport College back on October 5th. The Kangaroos get a point. 24-12, Wildcats lead. Brianna Ng with the serve. Tercer trying to set up Jasmala, dug out by Cornish. Breyer with the attack. Tercer sets it up. Thomas to Minter to Cornish. Dug out by Tillert. Minter trying to set up Grimshaw. Deflected at the line. Tercer to Wachi. And that's going to be 4 hits against the Wildcats. Point goes to the Kangaroos. Just a good overall sequence right there by both of these teams. Game point still for Daemen College. Tercer tries to set up Lindsay Nowak, blocked though at the line. And that ball is deflected off the hand of Lindsay Breyer, and that's going to do it for Game 1. Daemen College takes Game 1 in this best-of-5 series. USCAA Women's Volleyball quarterfinals. Daemen wins 25-13 over the Kangaroos. These teams will switch sides. We'll have more USCAA volleyball here on Tourbeau Sports Network. Game 2 between the SUNY Canton Kangaroos and the Daemen College Wildcats set to get underway here at SUNY Canton inside the CARC building. The final game of the day for both these teams. Winner will advance to the USCAA semifinals tomorrow, and they will play at noon on this same floor. And they'll either play, the winner of this game will play either Rochester College or Carlow University. SUNY Canton finished 4th in Pool B. Daemen College finished as the top dog out of Pool A. And here we go. SUNY Canton will serve. Yi Wang on the attack, and excellent block up front by the Kangaroos, keeping this sequence alive. Wang gets it back over. Carroll to Minter. Sets up Grimshaw for the first point of Game 2. Once again, Daemen College took the first game 25-13 over the Kangaroos. It's a best-of-5 series. In pool play, it was best-of-3, but now that we are in the elimination rounds of the tournament, here in the quarterfinals, the series is now best-of-5, and the diving attempt by Kinnicky and company was no good for the Wildcats. SUNY Canton now leads 2-0. This is their largest lead of this match. An excellent block up front by Grimshaw and Lowther, and another point for the Kangaroos. 3-0, good start for head coach Carol LaMarche's squad. Now Vasquez sets up Yi Wang on the attack, and that ball goes what seemed to be a mile in the air. But the point will go to the Wildcats. Excellent start, though, in this second game for SUNY Canton. The game prior to this one, in quarterfinals play, Florida College defeated UC Claremont in 3 games. Florida College has been to the USCAA National Championship in the past 4 years, but they lost to these Daemen College Wildcats last season, as Yi Wang will get credit for another kill. Yi Wang, the 6'1" junior middle blocker from Beijing, China. Also was an academic All-American to go along with second-team All-American last year in the USCAA. Here's the serve for Nicole Scherer. And the block is successful by Caitlin Grimshaw or Rachel Lowther and company for the Kangaroos. They increase their lead to 4-2. Morgan Bills checks in for Robin Carroll for the Kangaroos. And Caitlin Grimshaw to serve. Vasquez trying to set up Yi Wang. Dug up nicely by Cornish. Minter to Breyer. Deflected back to Breyer, and miscommunication right there between Kelsey Cornish and Caitlin Grimshaw. Had to get that hit over the net, and indecisive right there by the back end of the Kangaroos team. Paige Tillert to serve. Carroll with the dig. Minter setting up Lowther, and the successful attack as Paige Tillert looked to have been out of position on the Wildcats defense. Kangaroos with a very good start to this second game. Kangaroos were only 1-3 in pool play in the previous 2 days. But the point right there for the Wildcats as Brittany Anthon will get credit for the kill. Substitutions being made for the Wildcats. Kaylee Vasquez and Yi Wang go back out. Chelsea Tercer and Lindsay Nowak come back in. And Tercer will serve, averaging 4.18 assists per set this year. That's second best on the team too, Kaylee Vasquez. Dillard to Tercer. Tries to set up Anthon. A nice dig attempt by Kelsey Cornish, the freshman outside hitter for the Kangaroos. But it goes out of play, and Daemen evens up this second game at 5 points apiece. And Minter with a nice tip. And I don't think Chelsea Tercer thought that was coming at all from Mackenzie Minter. Minter typically is the one who's setting up those tips for her teammates. She's averaging 8.24 assists per set this year. That's best on the team, fourth best in the USCAA. Now Tercer trying to return the favor, sets up one of her teammates, but dug out very nicely by Kelsey Cornish. Now the setup for Brittany Anthon, and it's deflected off the hands of Mackenzie Minter, and point goes to the Wildcats. Daemen College from Amherst, New York. SUNY Canton from right here in Canton, New York. The only two New York teams in this tournament. Robin Carroll with a nice dig to Minter. Sets up for Emily Thomas. Tillert to Tercer. And sets up Caitlin Wachi for the kill. Daemen has their first lead of this second game. Nowak will serve again. Right to Thomas. Diving dig by Minter. Sets up Cornish. Another kill on consecutive plays by Caitlin Wachi. 2 consecutive kills for 2 consecutive points for the Wildcats. The Wildcats on a 3-0 run early in this second game. Morgan Bills with the attack. Tercer to Anthon. Minter setting up Bills and blocked at the line, blocked at the net by a pair of Wildcat defenders. And a timeout is called by head coach Carol LaMarche on the Kangaroos sideline. Daemen is now raced ahead to a 9-6 lead over SUNY Canton on a 4-0 run. Daemen College, if you're just joining us, they took the first game of this match 25-13. Daemen College finished a perfect 4-0 in pool play. This is why they are playing SUNY Canton, who finished 1-3 in pool play in the past 2 days. The top seed from Pool A playing the 4th seed from Pool B. The winner of this game will advance to the national semifinals tomorrow and play the winner of Rochester College and Carlow University, which is going on across campus at Dana Hall right now. Rochester College finished in 2nd in Pool B behind Florida College, and Carlow University, the 3rd place team out of Pool A, behind Marygrove and Daemen. The Wildcats get another point right there. As they reach double figures, 10-6. They lead over SUNY Canton. Here's Nowak with another serve. Minter to Bills. And a good diving dig attempt by Brittany Anthon, but well placed right there by Morgan Bills, and she'll get credit for that kill. Substitution being made for the Kangaroos as Brianna Ng checks in for Morgan Bills, and Ng will serve, the sophomore defensive specialist and outside hitter. And Tercer's setup for Lindsay Nowak is good. Another point for the Wildcats. Mackenzie Kanicki checks in for Paige Tillert. And Robin Carroll checks in for the Kangaroos. Caitlin Wachi with the serve. Minter able to set up her teammate, but an excellent dig on the Wildcat side and an excellent attack from Kanicki. 12-7 now, Wildcats lead. They were down early in this second game. Right now, though, they are on a 7-2 run over the Kangaroos. Thomas puts that volleyball in a perfect spot as Caitlin Wachi was unable to reach the ball in a diving attempt. Paige Tillert comes back in for Wachi on the Wildcats. And serving for the Kangaroos, Mackenzie Minter. Tillert to Tercer. Sets up Amber Drzmala. Now Kelsey Cornish on the attack. Tillert trying to save it, keep it in play, and she does. Excellent block up front by Kanicki and Drzmala. Another excellent block, this time from Kanicki again. Just excellent play up front by Mackenzie Kanicki so far for the Wildcats, and a net violation called against the Wildcats, and that point will be awarded to the Kangaroos. By the looks of their faces, the Wildcats didn't quite agree with the official's call right there. Nice dig right there by Minter. But Kelsey Cornish's attack goes out of bounds. Yi Wang and Kaylee Vasquez check back in for Lindsay Nowak and Chelsea Tercer for the Wildcats. Thomas to Minter, trying to set up Grimshaw. Dug up by Yi Wang. Drzmala gets it past a diving Emily Thomas for another Wildcats point. So Wildcats up 14-9. Breyer with the attack, dug up by the Wildcats again and again. Drzmala with the attack. Blocked away. Minter's got to get this over, and she does. The setup for Yi Wang right at Robin Carroll, and an excellent dig. Robin Carroll, my goodness. Give her a gold star for that effort, folks. But Yi Wang gets the best of Carroll on that second one and gets the point for the Wildcats. Robin Carroll, excellent effort. She gets a well-deserved round of applause from some SUNY Canton fans. Carroll this year has 307 digs. That's best on the team. Minter tries to set up Cornish, and Drizmala with the attack. Minter hits it over back to Daemen College, and Daemen College tried to set up a possible attack, but on their side as they set up the attack for the Kangaroos, and perfect execution for SUNY Canton. Emily Thomas checks back out. Rachel Lawther checks in. A point right there for the Wildcats as that serve goes out of bounds. 16-10, Daemen leads. Amber Drizmala will serve for Daemen. Yi Wang trying to tip it over the front line. Carroll, though, right there, and excellent block by Mackenzie Kanicki. And Brittany Anthon. Mackenzie Kanicki, quite the story for the Wildcats. A cancer survivor. Went through 4 rounds of chemo and 14 days of radiation treatment, and still made it to Daemen College in time for fall practice right before her freshman year in 2012. Wang keeps that alive. Vasquez able to hit over Minter, trying to set up Lawther. Vasquez high in the air for Tillert. Up for Anthon. Carroll with a dig to keep it alive. Back and forth, back and forth. Anthon again with the attack. Robin Carroll again. Outstanding play by Robin Carroll. Yi Wang with the tip, and Robin Carroll giving all she can right there. The sophomore libero just playing outstanding for the Kangaroos, but the Kangaroos find themselves down 18-10 to the Wildcats. Timeout called on the floor by the Kangaroos. Let's talk about Robin Carroll for a little bit. She's had some impressive moments. As a freshman in 2012, she led the team with 259 digs. This year, she's upped the ante a little bit, 307 digs. That was the best on the team coming into the USCAA National Tournament. Helped the Kangaroos team finish with the best win percentage in all of USCAA competition. They finished 27-5. That was an .844 win percentage. Robin Carroll, though, with some outstanding effort for SUNY Canton. And a heck of a talent for Coach Carol LaMarche. Daemen, though, up by 8 points over SUNY Canton. Minter sets up Lawther. Right to Brittany Anthon. To Vasquez. Amber Drizmala's attack just a little bit too low, and is unable to get over the net. Point for the Kangaroos. Substitution for SUNY Canton as Morgan Bills checks in for Robin Carroll. Vasquez setting up Anthon, and excellent block right there up front by combination of Lindsey Bryan and Morgan Bills, but it goes out of bounds. Point rewarded to Daemen. Both sides making substitutions. Mackenzie Kanicki checks out for Daemen, and for the Kangaroos, Caitlin Grimshaw also checks out of the game. Robin Carroll keeps it alive after a near miss by Kelsey Cornish. Yi Wang with the attack. And the block by Morgan Bills and Rachel Lawther ends up in front of them on the wrong side of the net. Point rewarded to Daemen. Paige Tillert with the serve. Minter setting up Lawther. Lawther has been playing a lot in favor of Jessica Reynolds. Reynolds was an honorable mention All-American a year ago. And Breyer's tip goes beyond the end line, out of bounds, 21-11. Daemen leads. They lead this series 1-0 after defeating the Kangaroos 25-13 in Game 1. Best of 5 series now that we are in elimination play. This is the quarterfinals of the USCAA National Tournament. Morgan Bills' attack ruled out of bounds. Bills thought that was in play. Side judge, though, standing right there, says that it was out of bounds, and point is rewarded to Daemen. Tillett with another serve to Cornish. Minter setting up Bills, and Morgan Bills looked to have mistimed her jump, and another point to the Wildcats. Tillett to serve again, the senior defensive specialist. She had 363 digs this year. That was best on the Wildcats. Minter to Lowther. Right to Anthon on the Wildcats side. Tried to set up her teammate Caitlin Wachi for that attack, but Wachi knows she just misplayed that ball. Now Lindsey Breyer to serve. And that serve goes just beyond the end line once again. Out of play. Substitutions being made for Daemen College. Chelsea Tercer and Lindsay Nowak check back in for Yi Wang and Kaylee Vasquez. Game point for the Wildcats. They lead 24-12 over SUNY Canton. They took game one of this best-of-5 series 25-13. Daemen College, the defending USCAA national champions. SUNY Canton looking to avoid elimination. Now Lowther hits it over the net and back to the Wildcats. Now Tercer setting up Wachi. But it's deflected at the line by Lowther, and SUNY Canton stays alive as Emily Thomas checks in for Rachel Lowther. And Emily Thomas will serve. 24-13, Daemen leads, game point. Tercer barely keeps it alive. And Emily Thomas nearly hit that ball and gives a smile to the bench, to her coaches. Good to have a little fun and realize when you nearly make a mistake. So kudos to Emily Thomas right there. Minter trying to set up Cornish, and it hits that sidebar. This is a suspended net here at SUNY Canton inside the CARC. And so the point will go to Daemen College, and the win in game two will go to Daemen College. Now Daemen takes a 2-0 series lead, best of 5, as they win 25-14. You're watching 2013 USCAA Volleyball on the Tourbeau Sports Network. Game 3 between the SUNY Canton Kangaroos and the Daemen College Wildcats set to get underway. Daemen College with a quick 2-0 lead in this best-of-5 match. Daemen College, the top seed from their respective pool from the Pool A region. SUNY Canton, the number 4 seed from Pool B. Daemen College, they won the first 2 games over SUNY Canton by scores of 25-13 and 25-14 in games 1 and 2, respectively. And the Wildcats, Kaylee Vasquez will start this third game serving to the Kangaroos. Kelsey Cornish on the attack. Nice dig by Paige Tillert. Kanicki keeps it alive, but 4 hits ruled against Daemen College, and the Kangaroos take a quick 1-0 lead. Substitution being made for SUNY Canton. Rachel Lowther checks in for Emily Thomas. And now serving for SUNY Canton, freshman Kelsey Cornish. Vasquez setting up Kanicki. And the ball bounces in Daemen's favor. Score even up at 1 point apiece. Daemen College looking to get to the USCAA semifinals for the second consecutive year and looking to defend that 2012 national championship. And in good shape so far. They lead 2-1 over the Kangaroos. Once again, Daemen College, the winner of this Daemen College SUNY Canton matchup will play either Rochester College or Carlow University tomorrow here at the CARC at noon. Should be a great game in the semifinals, whoever is in it. And right there, Lindsey Breyer will get credit for the attack after the failed block attempt by both Mackenzie Kanicki and E. Wang. Serving for the Kangaroos, Caitlin Grimshaw. And her serve goes beyond the end line, out of bounds. Good job by Paige Tillert watching that go out of play. Caitlin Grimshaw now checks out in favor of Robin Carroll for the Kangaroos, and Mackenzie Kanicki goes out as number 5, Caitlin Wachi, comes back in for the Wildcats. And Tillert with the serve, and her serve goes out of bounds. The score even up at 3 points apiece. Once again, Lindsey Breyer set to serve for the Kangaroos. Kangaroos finished 27-5 in the USCAA this year. That was the best record in terms of win percentage in the entire USCAA. And Yi Wang's attack hits the back corner of the Kangaroos side. And Daemen College regains the lead as Vasquez and Wang will sit in favor of Tercer and Nowak. Chelsea Tercer set to serve. Tercer more of a distributor than anything for Coach Mark Parisi and the Wildcats. And Robin Carroll's dig goes high and off of the basketball hoop, right above the end line. The Kangaroos unable to play that off the hoop, and another point goes to the Wildcats. Carroll setting up Lowther. Tercer now, the Wildcats, able to set up Lindsay Nowak, and she'll get credit for the kills. Lindsey Breyer was unable to get the dig off of the attack by the Wildcats. Daemen College looking to sweep SUNY Canton in this best-of-5 series and advance to the USCAA National Semifinals. Breyer to Minter, setting up Lowther. The attack, nice dig by Tillert. And an excellent attack and kill by Brittany Anthon, the senior from Lancaster, New York. And a timeout called on the Kangaroos sideline by head coach Carol LaMarche, as Daemen's on a 4-0 run and they lead the Kangaroos 7-3. And don't forget, fans, you can capture all the memories and highlights from this national tournament on high-quality video and audio commentary. All matches are available for purchase from Tourbeau Sports. Head over to our website at www.tourbeausportsgroup to learn more. And we'll be here all weekend. We have 4 games that we're going to call live here from the CARC tomorrow, as we will call a pair of semifinals matchups. The losers in those semifinals will play in a third-place game, and we'll wrap up the USCAA tournament with the national championship game at 4 o'clock live here from SUNY Canton inside the CARC. Cornish with the attack and nearly goes over the head of Chelsea Tercer, but a weird sequence right there for Daemen College, and point goes to Canton as Emily Thomas checks back in for Rachel Lowther. Thomas, the junior libero and defensive specialist, 101 digs this year. That's 5th best on the team. She was a state champion actually in high school back in 2009 at Horseheads High School in Horseheads, New York. And the point right there goes to the Kangaroos. 7-5, Daemen leads. Before this game, we saw Florida College defeat the University of Cincinnati Claremont in 3 games. Claremont made it interesting in the final game, but Florida College looking to get back to the USCAA National Championship for the 5th consecutive year. They won the national championships from 2009 through 2011. They were the runner-ups, though, to these Daemen College Wildcats in 2012. Lindsey Breyer's hit goes out of bounds beyond the diving attempt of Robin Carroll. So the Wildcats will serve again. This is Brittany Anthon. Anthon will serve. Thomas nearly hits that out of play, but good recovery, though, by the Kangaroos. An excellent block by Morgan Bills. And substitution being made for the Kangaroos as Brianna Ng and Caitlin Grimshaw check in for Morgan Bills and Robin Carroll. And here's Ng's serve. Tercer setting up for Anthon. Past the outstretched arms of a pair of Kangaroo defenders. And Morgan Bills and Robin Carroll quickly coming back in. Or excuse me, Robin Carroll actually coming back in for, looks to be Brianna Ng. Carroll looks to have been shaken up a little bit after that diving attempt earlier in this game. We've seen some magnificent play from Robin Carroll on the Kangaroos defense. Point right there to the Kangaroos. Though as Kelsey Cornish gets the tip over the arms of Mackenzie Kanicki and Chelsea Tercer. And Robin Carroll, though, is only a sophomore, and there's a reason why such a young player is playing at such a high level. She plays very hard, and she's very talented as well. Got to be a coach's favorite, I would assume. And the attack right there by the Kangaroos is successful after the diving dig attempt by Paige Tillert is no good. Game even at 9 points apiece. Mackenzie Minter back to serve for SUNY Canton. The winner of this game will either play, the winner of this match will either play Rochester College or either Rochester College or Carlow University tomorrow here at the CARC. And Canton finally regains the lead 10-9 over the Wildcats. Tillert to Tercer, setting up Anthon, well blocked by the Kangaroos front line. And the tip by Anthon barely gets over the net. Cornish on the attack. Tillert picks it up. Tercer sets up Drismala, blocked again by Lindsey Breyer and Caitlin Grimshaw. Serious momentum going in favor of the Kangaroos as the Wildcats misplay this at the front line. Timeout called on the Daemen College sideline by head coach Mark Parisi. And let's talk about head coach Mark Parisi real quick. He's in his 9th year at Daemen College. In 2009, the Wildcats finished 18-60 under Parisi's watch. That was the program's first winning season since 2004. Parisi didn't arrive to the program until 2005. This program was in a bit of a struggle at the time of his arrival, but he's been a player and a coach in volleyball for over 30 years. Played at the University of New York in Buffalo. And his daughter, actually, Lauren Cooper, she's in her first season as an assistant under her dad's watch. She was on the Daemen College team back in 2009, that had that first winning season since 2004. She started as an outside hitter for the volleyball team for the Wildcats in 2008 and 2009. Previously, before that, though, she played Division I volleyball at St. Francis University in Pennsylvania as a libero. And here we go. We resume play. Kangaroos with an 11-9 lead. Coming out of the Wildcats timeout. Tercer setting up Drizmala, and she'll get credit for the kill. Amber Drizmala gets the Wildcats double digits. Substitutions being made for Daemen College. Yi Wang and Kaylee Vasquez check in for Nowak and Tercer. Vasquez will serve. The dig by Thomas to Minter, setting up for Breyer. And Breyer successful in the attack. And the kill, 12-10, Kangaroos lead. Rachel Lowther checks in for Emily Thomas. And Carol Lamar seemingly has replaced Jessica Reynolds in the rotation with Rachel Lowther. Jessica Reynolds typically rotates with Emily Thomas throughout each game, but Rachel Lowther has been getting the majority of the rotations in this match. And Yi Wang able to deflect it over Lowther and Caitlin Grimshaw. Yi Wang's awareness, very, very impressive on that front line for Daemen College. Wang, the junior middle blocker from Beijing, China. Played volleyball at Hashioji Jisen High School in Beijing. Now Minter setting up Grimshaw. Dug out nicely by the Wildcats. Minter setting up Breyer, and Breyer's attack, though, goes into the net. And Daemen evens up this game at 12 points apiece. Wildcats looking to advance to the national semifinals. They lead this best-of-5 series 2-0 over the Kangaroos. Winner moves on to the semifinals. The loser, well, they got to head on home early, unfortunately. Substitution being made for the Kangaroos. Morgan Bills checks in for Robin Carroll. Kangaroos lead 13-12. Tillert with the dig to Vasquez, setting up Yi Wang, and excellent job by the Kangaroos keeping it alive, and Morgan Bills' attack goes out of bounds along the baseline. Point to the Wildcats. Mackenzie Kanicki checks out for the Wildcats, as well as Caitlin Grimshaw for the Kangaroos. And Tillert's serve hits the middle of the net. That's happened a little bit more than I think Mark Parisi would like for Daemen College so far in this third game. So Canton leads 14-13. Here's Lindsey Breyer. Tillert helping set up that attack for number 5, Caitlin Wachi, and that kill. Substitutions being made again by Parisi. Tercer and Nowak checking back in for Yi Wang and Kaylee Vasquez. And Chelsea Tercer will serve. Robin Carroll to Minter, setting up Morgan Bills. Tercer unable, though, to dig that out. An excellent attack by Morgan Bills. Kangaroos maintain a 15-14 lead. Emily Thomas checks back in for Rachel Lowther. Emily Thomas will serve. Tillert to Tercer. Sets up Wachi. The dig by Robin Carroll. They got to play this off the backboard of the basketball hoop right above this volleyball court. And the attempt by Kelsey Cornish on the attack hits the middle of the net. Game even up at 15 points apiece. Very good game 3 for both these teams so far. Thomas to Minter, setting up Morgan Bills on the attack, but it's deflected off the front line of the Wildcats defense. Point goes to the Kangaroos. Substitution being made for the Kangaroos. Caitlin Grimshaw and Brianna Ng check back in for Robin Carroll and Morgan Bills. Kangaroos, they 1-point lead, down 2-0 in this best-of-5 series. And a successful attack right there by Caitlin Wachi from the Wildcats. Mackenzie Kanicki checks back into the game for Paige Tillert. This has been a bit of a seesaw battle in this third game. SUNY Canton trying to keep their USCAA tournament hopes alive. Tercer setting up Drizmala. Dug out by Thomas. Breyer on the attack. High floater in the air. Tercer for Kanicki. Blocked on the front line. And right there, Caitlin Wachi kind of hit it into no man's land right there as both Chelsea Tercer and Amber Drizmala were on the ground for the Wildcats. And the Kangaroos once again go up by 1 point. Now Tercer to Nowak. Minter sets up for Breyer. Blocked by Kanicki and Amber Drizmala, and the dig attempt by Emily Thomas goes out of bounds. Game even up at 17 points apiece. Substitution for the Wildcats. Kaylee Vasquez and Yi Wang check in for Chelsea Tercer and Lindsay Nowak. Vasquez will serve. Robin Carroll to Minter. Sets up for Breyer with the little tip over the net. Tillert setting up Yi Wang. Right to Minter. Breyer gets it over. Yi Wang with the attack. Right to Emily Thomas. Sets up Lindsay Breyer on the attack. Vasquez keeping it alive with a dig. Back and forth, back and forth. And a near point right there for the Wildcats, but saved by an amazing dig once again by Robin Carroll of the Kangaroos. She has been a lifesaver for the Kangaroos, but the Wildcats end up with the point. Robin Carroll getting some serious brownie points for her effort so far in this game. She has got to be one of the best liberos I've seen in this tournament. Outstanding effort by the sophomore. Minter sets up Grimshaw, and we're tied up once again, 18 points apiece. It's been a constant seesaw battle between both these teams in this third game. SUNY Canton trying to hold off Daemen for at least one more game. Daemen College trying to get to the national semifinals, and that serve by Cornish hits the middle of the net. Point goes to the Wildcats. They lead 19-18 over the Kangaroos. And here's Amber Drizmala with the serve. Minter setting up Breyer. And a near net violation right there for Rachel Lowther, but she gets the benefit of the doubt. Lindsay Breyer to Robin Carroll with the attack. It goes beyond the end line. Daemen College now with a 2-point lead. This has been the largest lead of this game since about the 10-point mark of this game 3. Drizmala to serve once again for Daemen College, looking to extend this to a 3-point lead. It'll be a very comfortable cushion in this game, and they're able to do so as the Kangaroos unable to return that volley. Timeout called on the sideline by head coach Carol LaMarche. SUNY Canton down by 3 points, also down 2-0 in the Series 2. Daemen College Wildcats looking to advance to the USCAA national semifinals. They will either play, if they end up sweeping SUNY Canton, they will either play Rochester College or Carlow University tomorrow here at the CARC on the campus of SUNY Canton at noon. Before this game, in this same building. Florida College defeated University of Cincinnati Claremont in 3 games, sweeping them 3-0. Florida College will be in the semis tomorrow either against Marygrove or Lindenwood Belleville. Carroll sets up to Cornish, dug out by Tillert. Vasquez to Mackenzie Kanicki. Mackenzie Kanicki with a big kill. Oh my goodness, and Daemen College now out to a 4-point lead. And Coach Parisi's squad really in the driver's seat right now to sweep this series away from the Kangaroos. And a nice dig right there by Carroll. Setting up Lowther for the attack. And a near double hit right there by the Wildcats. Vasquez to Yi Wang. And she out-muscles the front line of SUNY Canton. The Wildcats now up 23-18. Both sides cheering on their respective teams. Both benches cheering on their respective teams. SUNY Canton hoping to get one last life. And Daemen College looking to advance. Minter sets up for Grimshaw. Picked up by Tillert. And an excellent block along the front line by Lindsey Breyer and Caitlin Grimshaw. Morgan Bills checks in for Robin Carroll. SUNY Canton down 23-19. Grimshaw with the serve. Vasquez setting up Yi Wang, blocked by Morgan Bills and company. Brittany Anthon's shot blocked again by Morgan Bills. Lindsey Breyer with the attack to Drizmala. Vasquez sets up Yi Wang, and the point goes to SUNY Canton after a net violation is called against Yi Wang. Canton clinging on to life. 23-20, Daemen leads. Tillert to Vasquez. Vasquez setting up Anthon with a little tip. An excellent diving attempt right there by Rachel Lowther. But Daemen now up 24-20. Game point for the Wildcats. Lowther's got to get this over. Tillert to Vasquez, setting up Anthon. Minter on the Kangaroo side, setting up Rachel Lowther, blocked by Yi Wang, and Lindsey Breyer unable to get that over the net. Carol LaMarche won a net violation against Caitlin Wachi and the Wildcats, but that's going to do it for this series. Daemen College takes this best-of-5 series 3-0 over SUNY Canton, winning 25-20. They will advance to the USCAA National Semifinals. They will play tomorrow at noon here at the CARC. They'll play either Rochester College or Carlow University for an opportunity to go to the national championship. Daemen College, of course, once again, the defending USCAA national champions, looking to gain another appearance in the national championship game, in the national championship match tomorrow evening. Don't forget, fans, you can capture all the memories and highlights from this national tournament on high-quality video and audio commentary. All matches are available for purchase from Tourbeau Sports. Head over to our website at www.tourbeausportsgroup to learn more. That's going to do it for us here at SUNY Canton for today. We'll see you tomorrow. You've been watching live and exclusive coverage of the 2013 USCAA Volleyball National Championships on the Tourbeau Sports Group Network. Take care, everybody.